What's up, y'all? This is Miss Devoted Tiff back again with my next set of commentary. We're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 9, Episode 3. So this episode, I have to say, was a little bit on the more boring side, but there's still a little bit of tea to spill, so we're just going to get right into it. So the episode starts out with Phaedra, Porsha, and Sheree meeting up. And I can tell those three are probably going to be the other clique, and I'm here for it. They come in, I don't know, looking like they just came from working out or something. And then Phaedra has to go and say that they're coming in with the new camel toe trend. Like, that girl, you just do not know what she's going to say out of her mouth. Why in the world would she be bragging about camel toe? And then Sheree is like, is that a good thing? So then we cut over to Kenya. She's with Matt. Maybe one of the reasons she got back with him is to get some free training because they were out there training. And then they sit down and she tells him a little bit about what happened with her and Sheree, which I think is hilarious when they do the split scenes because they never say exactly what happened. They only say their side. And she's like, oh, Sheree attacked me, blah, blah, blah. But wasn't she the one that started that conversation? Anyways, so then Sheree is telling the girls, and it comes out that what Kenya said was kind of true because it's not exactly in her mom's name, but it's in a trust. I guess the trust is either from her mama or is given to her mama. But I was with Porsha. Shoot, if it don't matter whose name the house is in as long as it belongs to her and she can stay in it, hey, get you a piece. But Porsha definitely was bringing out her ratchetness, talking about, you black, ain't you? You know your mama had a phone bill in your name when you was 5, which is true for a lot of people, but she never ceases to surprise me. I wouldn't expect the granddaughter of Hosea Williams to know about that kind of thing. And then they go back to gossiping about Kenya and whether or not she stays in the house, talking about how she must be a groundhog if she can stay in that house, and how she gonna have sex with Matt there if she has on a hazmat suit. Very good point, I must say, because it's dust and all kinds of things and fumes and everything look like it's flying around there. So I wouldn't be staying there myself. So it goes back over to Matt and Kenya, and he actually invites her to his family reunion. I myself was shocked because I'm like, they just got back to talking, so Kenya says, and now she's going to see the family. So I'm like, is this thing real? I don't know. Seems like it might be, but Lord knows I would be too scared to bring Kenya around my family because she's a little Kenya. So then we go over to Kandis. She's at the factory, and they come in and they need to have a meeting about their next venture. In the middle of that, somebody just pops up, and I'm like, okay, who is this? And then they say, so then Candy says, well, you can't just pop up on me at the factory like that. Well, apparently she can because she did, and ain't nobody at the front desk. So maybe you need to hire another person to keep your front desk if it's that serious for you. I'm just saying. Couldn't have been too much of a surprise because she didn't seem like, whoa. She just seemed like a fake whoa. Yeah, I said it. So they go and have a little side conversation. Turns out it is the girlfriend of Riley's dad. And she says she coming because she's trying to see, how to bring the family together from her perspective. Almost like she kind of felt like the family wasn't together because of Kandi, and Kandi let her know, Riley, we've tried, and Riley now is just not feeling it anymore. And I don't blame her because if I felt like I was trying to reach out to somebody and they ain't reaching out to me, then yeah, I'm not. And then what girl wants to feel like she has to reach out to her, what girl wants to feel like she has to reach out to her dad to get him to come around, So then we go back over to Kenya and Matt. They are going to drive to the family reunion, which is in Cincinnati. I'm like, you guys, why would you drive that far? Like, you're going from Georgia to Ohio. And she says, oh, it's because Matt likes the bonding of road trips. Now, you just tell the truth. You either wouldn't or couldn't put up the money for the tickets because if it's not Bravo paying for it, and if if she wasn't always trying to act like she has all this money, that would be one thing. But like, I don't like what people kind of put on. Like, if I don't have a lot of money, I'ma say I ain't got it. But don't try to make it seem like, oh, we just want to do the road trip, you know. So then we go over to Sheree and her ex. I love seeing the scenes of them together because as much as she claims, oh, we're just working on co-parenting, she be flirting right back with that man, trying to say, oh, I'm not letting him get close to me like that, but she showed it mine saying, I remember you used to like S&M. I was like, whoa, okay, it's getting kind of TMI right now. But he acts, he seemed like he has turned over a new leaf and he is getting serious about his family and serious about, you know, making sure that he takes care of the kids and is there for Sheree. But then he asked, can he move in? And Sheree was like, not yet. Not sure if that not yet meant because the house wasn't done yet or it's because she's not ready for him to move in yet. But it wasn't an absolute no. So, hey. So then we go over to Cynthia's and her mom and her sister just dropped by. They the most dropping by people. It just, I guess every family is different, but like I still would want to know if you was just there. Like you don't even know if I'm home, right? I noticed that when a couple seasons ago, her sister just dropped by and decided, oh, I'm just gonna stay here for a few months. Like, who does that? She kind of talking to them about her point of view with the divorce, and then some tea is spilled that Peter has been reaching out to Mal and saying, that he missed his wife. And she didn't even tell her sister. I'm like, what sister wouldn't tell that? But she admitted that she misses him too, which is understandable. They've been dating and married all those years. But she was like, she has to have peace and she deserves it. And I completely agree. Like, men will say that they miss you, but they just miss being able to get away with whatever they get away with and be around you. Of course, it's not all men, but I think in this case there was definitely some signs of that because he would say he miss her, but he wouldn't necessarily treat her right. He would say he missed her, and then he would be in Charlotte all the time. If you really miss me, you would be around, or invite me to come up there. And she got some advice from her mom because her mom had been divorced twice. I was like, dang, just put your mama business out there. Why don't you? We didn't know that. But she's like, well, you've been divorced twice. I was like, whoa. So then we go to freaking frack and work out clothes again. And they're in some little nature trail looking place. And Porsha comes out with the fact that she actually has been wanting to have a child without a family. I kind of felt bad because it's like, she's a beautiful girl. She has her own career. It seemed like she should be able to, find someone to commit. But she said she don't feel like she should have to wait. I kind of feel like it's a little bit selfish because even if you don't want someone or a full family, I think maybe the child would deserve at least that chance, not because you got impatient and so you want to just go ahead and have a baby and not even have a situation where you're even trying to have a guy in the household. So then she shares that her ex is back in her life, a little cutie, and his name is Todd also. And she says she gonna ask him. Then she asks Phaedra, the attorney, is there something called a baby nut? I was like, you know what? She is good for making those catchphrases like Marshall. So this might be another one. Just somebody that you're not married to, or that if you are married, that you have an agreement of what's going to go down with the kid, or what the visitation arrangement is going to be, that you will not try to file for full custody and take the child away from me if something happens in my life. I think it's actually a good idea. So, baby nut, we're going to see if we start seeing that springing up in the future. So Kenya and Matt get to Cincinnati, and the family's waiting there, and the camera shoots over to the sister because she already kind of got a stank face, and so they don't take it easy on Kendra. They're not doing the fake. They're not faking the funk, and it's kind of clear that maybe they really like skeptical about her, or that they don't like her because every comment she made, either the mom or the sister was getting right on that behind, saying, "Oh, don't talk about my favorite son like that," or she was like, "Well, you," and then the sister was saying, "Well, you talking about what he does that you don't like." what about what you do, or what about what he don't like? I was like, yeah, sister, get on it. And Kenya don't like for anybody to disagree with her. She likes for her like pageant charm to just kind of get everybody to go with what she say. She don't like people to say nothing back. So in her interviews, of course, she's like, oh wow, but you should expect that when you meet somebody's family. And I'm pretty sure when things was going crazy, or when you was acting crazy, that he would go talk to his sister. So I like the sister. She was making that pageant girl stutter on questions. She was wanted to be like, oh, I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again? So she had time to get it together. So then we go over to Candy, and she's talking to her daughter about her dad's girlfriend reaching out. Candy's daughter, Riley, was not having it. She was like, which I totally saw her point. She was like, well, if he can't come, and the girlfriend should be having to come and try to put us back together. So she said, void. But that is kind of sad, but hopefully he comes around. So we go back over to Porsha, and she's doing some workouts with, I don't know if it's like her boyfriend or just the guy she's talking to, but Todd. And they go outside after the little workout class, and she kind of eases into saying, she's been thinking about having a baby, and that she was saying with her mom, if she did have one, that she wanted to be with him. I was like, whoa, did she really say it to him? His face was like, whoa. And he was like, we're going a little too fast on that. But I got a good impression from him. It seemed like he's a good dude, because some dudes, even if they know that they don't want to have a child, just because they want to go through the actual action of having sex, they might just, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's get started with the baby making. He didn't do that, and he was like, that's not what I want for you. And he said, but if you give me some time, I think I can convince you that I'm the one. So that was really cool. And so she said, well, if you come down here more, I will be willing to give it a chance. So we're gonna stay tuned. So we go back to the family reunion with Matt. Kenya's out on the dance floor. Looks like a good time, a good vibe. And then all of a sudden, Matt's sister pulls Kenya aside, and she's like, Kenya was not feeling it. And she was straight up. She was like, I'm a little skeptical. And she sure was talking out of both ends of her mouth. First, she was like, if I didn't see, something with us, I wouldn't be here. And then the next sentence, she's like, well, I'm concerned about if he's right for me. Well, which one is it, girl? But she finally kind of won her sister over, and Matt came and intercepted. And then the mom and the dad was like a good daughter-in-law. Only if they knew. I'm sure they won't be saying that when they actually sit down and watch some of these episodes. The episode ends on Sheree and Candy being at CrossFit, and y'all know Candy don't like to work out, but she did her little try, and Sheree was killing it, of course, with her guns. And they ended up talking about the situation with Candy and the dad, and Candy ended up crying. Shocker. Um, that how she's, and it looks like she's still, struggling with it. Like all these years, she's like, I don't want him around, need him around. Me and Riley are fine, but she still has some pain deep down inside that was coming out about the whole thing. About him not even making effort, and they kind of bonded over that experience. Candy decides to spill some tea on Porsha's private business, that Porsha and Brock knew each other. And then shame on Sheree for slut shaming, talking about she done been with Brock too. She done been with everybody. I didn't like that. She was just hanging out with the girl the other day. And just because somebody says somebody had sex with someone, don't always mean that it's true. And if that's your friend, then why would you go in the interview room and like make it look like she's been with all these dudes? Like, these women are foul. It was cutting over to Block and to his girlfriend and their people, and him giving his take, kind of making it seem like, that he was putting up effort, but it really wasn't a scene, or that she wouldn't really want to see him. And I was like, how weak of him to put it on the child. If you're the dad, she gonna take her cue from you. And if she don't see that you're trying, or if you stand her up, he was like, only once. It only takes once. If it's not like, oh, well, I really believe my dad wants to be around me. I know he stood me up once, but I still believe it. So I feel like seeing how he looked on camera maybe will make him want to step up. Um, but that whole situation is just not cool. I think it's interesting that it's coming up now, that the girl showed up now. I honestly feel like it low-key may be a storyline, because if she's been at the candy factory, why would she just now show up? That's because just now maybe there's more of a need for a storyline, but we will see. But that was it for this episode. We'll see if the intensity comes back next week. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and stick out for other blog topics coming up soon. This is your girl, Miss Devoted Tiff, signing out.